Hey Internet. So I just got back from a Ingmar Bergman double feature, Through a Glass Darkly and Winter's Light, back to back, 15-minute break in between. Now if you want to know what I think about those movies, you can listen to the Lost in Criterion episode about them, a little cross-promotional thing I'm doing right now. Many years ago, we watched the entire trilogy box set of what's called Bergman's God Trilogy. Those are the first two films from it. The third film, The Silence, is even more depressing than those two, but that's the key. These are depressing religious movies. So in the spirit of another depressing religious movie, Robert Bresson's Diary of a Country Priest, I'm going to fall on one of my favorite quotes from that movie. God is not a torturer. He wants us to have mercy with ourselves. And in the spirit of that, I'm going to drink some root beer and try to recover.
I'm gonna party like I did when I was 8. Drink too much root beer, stay up late. The Adam glasses, root beer around me. Yeah, the Adam glass, root beer around me.
So, like the last episode, I'm just going to do a random pull and let Providence take care of what we're drinking. So let's see what God provides. The movies, by the way, are mostly about the silence of God. So we'll take from that as we see our root beers. We've got 3 Dachshunds. Time for a treat, it says. Old-fashioned root beer. Now, 3 Dachshunds notable for not having the word 3, or even the number 3, but Roman numerals for 3. So technically, I guess, it's I Dachshunds. Maybe. Interestingly enough, this is now put out by WIT Beverage Company, WBC, the people who, I believe, bought, what's that, Wild Goose, if I remember correctly. But yeah, 3 Dachshunds. Their website, I believe, is iiidachshund.com. Nope, they used the number in their website. I was wrong. Less confusing, certainly. Let's see. 3 Dachshunds is literally named for 3 Dachshunds. It's brewed by Cellar in Appleton, Wisconsin, for the 3 Dachshunds Beer Company. Next, we've got Iron Horse Root Beer. DrinkIronHorse.com. Iron Horse, it's from Minneapolis. The weirdest thing about Iron Horse, now Iron Horse, obviously, it's an old term for trains. Iron Horse's art history section on their website only talks about trains, never talks about their root beer. No idea when it first started, how old the recipe is, anything like that. And lastly, we'll do Saranac root beer. Saranac.com. FX Matt Brewing Company has been family owned since 1888. And they're out of Utica, New York. These guys brewed an IPA in 1914, so they were way ahead of the curve on their brewing stuff. Now obviously, like a lot of old breweries, they got into the soda business during the Prohibition, but that's when the root beer dates to. 3rd generation family owned, so maybe they're doing something right. Let's check them out. Let's start with Saranac. Ooh, some good caramels on the nose. Let's pour that off. Good vanillas too. This smells like a good classic draft root beer, but not a lot of head on it. Very dark in color. So it smells drafty. But a good draft root beer, in my mind, has a lot of vanilla on the head, and this is very anisey. I have that cough syrup thing on the back end too. But really not bad. Definitely drinkable. Definitely helped me bounce back. Iron Horse. Smells like there's some birch in here. That is much, much lighter in color. A lot more bubbles sticking to the edge of the glass, but that could just be the nature of this glass. Maybe I didn't wash it so well. I think I did. Anyway, it's a lot lighter than the last one too. Some similar flavors. It does have that birch in there. And the anise isn't as deep. Really, it tastes lighter, like it's colored lighter. Now obviously the flavorings in root beers have very little effect on the color of them. That's really just the amount of caramel coloring they're putting in. Yeah, that's a good balance. And our 3 little Dachshunds, which I'm sure is named for 3 actual Dachshunds. This is going to be a lot more syrupy. Cough syrupy, I mean. Color-wise, about the mid-range between the 2 of these. The 2 others, I mean. Bubbles tickling my nose. I always like that. A little water. Surprise, I'm prepared. Definitely birch in there. Wintergreen. It's really the only flavor I can pick out. Kind of a cola covering it almost. Yeah. This could be labeled as a brown birch beer, and wouldn't taste any different. In fact, it tastes quite a bit like Boylan's brown birch beer, though Boylan's birch beer's got more of a bubblegum in their brown variety. Tutti Frutti is not strong in this at all. Yeah. It's serviceable. Again, blind taste test though, I'd call this a birch beer if you put me up against it. But they got it labeled root beer, and birch is a fair ingredient in root beer. There's a little vanilla in there, not a lot of anise at all. Really not tasting any of those herbals besides the birch. And the birch is probably wintergreen anyway. They're the same thing. I've been over this. Yeah, they're all perfectly reasonable, not very bad. As far as root beers go, I think the Saranac's the best of the bunch. Iron Horse, nothing super wrong with it. But as far as things that are going to help me recover from watching those movies, I think 3 Dachshunds prove that God loves us and He wants us to be happy. Because while I grabbed root beers, Providence provided me with something that tastes more like a birch beer. And that's really what I need right now. God bless. I'll see you next time.